Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of our podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, I know, we finally got this shit going.
Yeah, man.
We hope you enjoy.
It's been a lot of effort
Yeah,
going into it. It's
a
been a while.
Fucking money,
Yeah.
right? So you better enjoy
money.
this shit. Our money.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
like, subscribe. Anything any questions or anything you want to talk about or want us to talk about, throw in the comments.
Let us know what you think about the first episode.
Yeah.
I hope people enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope people listen to it as well. Like, you know what I mean?
People probably won't listen to the first few
Yeah.
bits, but it is what it is. It's the first episode, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's got to start somewhere.
Innit?
We had a lot of fun. At least I had a lot of fun.
I had a bit of fun.
So,
it was nice.
We hope you, even if it's like background music, just you
Yeah,
know,
man.
like, subscribe, share the video. Does anybody share videos? Have you ever shared a YouTube
Click
video?
the post notification bell.
Yeah,
Follow us
that's
on our
cool.
socials as well.
Yeah, the link in
Show
the
us,
description.
show the support.
Yeah, and then eventually buy our Patreon or some bullshit that we start.
OnlyFans coming soon.
But yeah, so
Enjoy the video, guys.
Here we are.
Would you like
I
a
would love a shot.
shot of Proper 12 to commemorate the pilot
The
episode?
occasion. The pilot.
Oof. Strong.
You've had it before. So I'm going in
Is
completely
that-
blind.
Is that enough?
Yeah, looks like a decent. These are fat shot glasses, to be fair.
Yeah.
These are not shot glasses.
Proper Irish whiskey.
We're gonna go punch old men in pubs now.
And DJs.
Yeah.
I think you got a bit more than me.
Sorry, top yours up. Nah, now you need more from the bottle. Because now you'll have more than me. Rookie mistake.
Fuck. That is not.
Yeah, you can pour more into mine if you want.
Nah.
Alright, fuck it.
I'll have to do like 2 shots of that.
Nah, pussy. No way. No way. All in one.
Oh, fuck. Hang on.
I got water if you need a chaser, but.
To the podcast.
For the podcast. Nice.
Oh.
Impressive.
Oh. Fuck.
See, whiskey's never meant to be shot anyway, I don't think. But it is particularly hard.
You kept the poker face there.
Yeah, because I'm not a pussy.
Fuck you.
No, my main sort of what's the word, like, party brag is that I've never taken a chaser after a shot.
Really?
No.
God damn.
I'm probably just gonna do it one time and vomit like really bad.
Yeah.
But wow, I would not buy that whiskey.
Yeah.
Should we ditch the podcast and become like whiskey
Yeah.
sommeliers?
It was I think it was on offer actually.
Okay, that's good.
It was 24 quid. It's like still pretty expensive. Like,
How much is it supposed to be?
well, like that's 700 milliliters, and you probably get like a liter of Smirnoff. That's probably about 20 quid. So yeah, it's
Fucking
expensive. I mean, he's making like hundreds of millions off of it.
Yeah, of course.
I think it was Floyd Mayweather, who was like richest athlete of the decade, then Ronaldo, and then Conor McGregor.
Yeah, so I'm on the Forbes list.
But the thing is, it's from this and like his other businesses like
Oh,
UFC,
really?
because obviously UFC don't
Don't
really
pay
pay fighters very well, do they?
No.
Man's just fucking absolutely balling it with the thing.
Christ.
He's gone massive.
Oh wait, yeah, he's what is
Have
he,
you
like,
seen him?
80 something, 86 is he?
86 kilos.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I know it's 190 pounds.
Oh yeah, the fucking pounds ratio. I hate imperial sort of measures. He's fucking huge. That's
Yeah.
do you reckon he's on steroids?
He might be, because maybe not for like just the gains, but because of his leg. Because he
Yeah,
fucked up his
yeah.
leg.
He
Like
fucked
you
his leg
you are
bad.
gonna get given steroids to like
Yeah.
to help it heal better. So it wouldn't surprise me if he just starts hopping the gym real quick.
You can get like prescribed steroids really easy if you just say you've got like low testosterone and you feel weak. Or it's like there's some, I saw a video on it and you can
Really?
get prescribed tren like so easy.
Really?
Is it tren or is it test? I think
It'd
test.
probably be test, yeah. They do that a lot. And it's probably gonna happen like more often now.
Yeah,
like-
probably.
I think it's since the 70s.
Mhm.
The average like sperm and testosterone in males is like
Shit.
it's gone like, I think it's half. It's decreased by a half. By a half.
It's the fucking plastic bottles.
It
bro.
is.
It literally is.
And the thing is, yeah, it's like off low testosterone, like haha. But like the amount of like implications that's gonna have, like there's gonna be like a fertility problem, because like legit, and males gonna be more depressed, more like. I'm gonna dig myself a hole here, but more like females. If that makes sense.
The like, what's like? How would you describe it? Higher estrogen levels, which means like
more. You're gonna be more feminine.
Yeah, less of the stereotypical masculine body. And it's gonna be less fighting in the street. Fucking all that boring shit, bro.
Right, we get into
actual podcast shit.
The actual topics.
I reckon we should take another one.
Want to take another one?
I dare you. Good.
I'm not doing like the same size I did before.
No, you can do a bit less. Yeah, slightly more than me. So I'll be slightly more.
That'll do.
Look at my fucking.
Say when.
Like you.
More?
Because you had more than me last time, so I feel slightly more than you. There you go.
Oh shit!
That's fucking hell. Breaking the set again.
Right. Bottoms up once again. Oh. He said it's smooth.
It's not. It could be smooth if you sit. No, actually no.
I'm not like a whiskey connoisseur.
Me neither.
Right. Are we talking about? Do you want to talk about UFC?
Yeah. Well, I mean, speaking as we're already on the fucking topic of it.
So, was it March 5th?
Yes.
March 5th.
March 5th is Vegas fight night, I think.
If it was London.
No, I also thought it was London. Hang on, let's fact check this. I think it's.
Pull that up, Jamie.
Yeah, there's so many like fight nights that no one really watches. So the UFC London is March 19th.
Okay.
That's a fight night. That's Volkov versus Aspinall.
It's good that they're finally bringing it like outside of the US now.
Yeah, but the thing is, if the fucking O2 doesn't get repaired, I assume they're by 19th of March, surely.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That you've got Covington Masvidal on the March 6th.
I'm looking forward to that.
It was going to be. I swear there was something March 5th unless they moved it. Was it Volkanovski? Not Volkanovski. Max. I swear Max Holloway was fighting someone.
Yeah, and he pulled out. He was fighting. He was featherweight champ.
Volkanovski.
He's pulled out. So it's Korean Zombie that's fighting now.
Oh, is he? I swear Korean Zombie is fighting. Sorry, you're not fighting Max. He's fighting Volkanovski.
Yeah, 'cause Max was like, I'm injured, and then he was like, oh, if either one of them pulls out, I'll fight.
Yeah.
So it's like, hang on, you pulled out,
yeah.
But then now you're saying, oh yeah, I'll fight. It's kind of like, what?
No fucking clue. I think as a fighter, Max Holloway is very entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is the best boxer in the UFC.
Yeah, punches and bunches.
Yeah.
He's just got his cardio is insane. Him and Covington are probably like best cardio in the whole of UFC.
No, I agree. It's sort of scary when you think about having 5 rounds of Max Holloway, like holds 3 records for the most significant strikes in fights.
Nah, imagine getting 5 rounds with either Francis Ngannou or you're going 12 with Mike Tyson. What would you prefer, Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson, right?
Really?
Mike Tyson, bigger gloves. So in the sense, if he's still gonna knock me out.
Either way, you're getting knocked out. There's no like scenario where you don't get knocked out in this.
Dead. I think the feeling of being knocked out by like the after pain when you wake up and you're like, fuck, my jaw hurts, is going to be less with a like 10-ounce boxing glove than a 4-ounce UFC glove. I think Mike Tyson would probably be faster with it as well, because it like normally Ngannou's got the one-shot power, but you see a lot of people tank it. I don't think I could.
Nah, I couldn't fucking tank
But imagine
it.
if you did. If you took one, he glanced it, and so now your jaw is fucking killing. But
I doubt you'd feel it because you got that adrenaline running. You feel it more if it's to the body. Even if it just glances your chin, you're gonna be like,
yeah, I'm probably
you're gonna be like, oh, that really hurt. You're gonna be spaced out. You're like, what the fuck? And you also got to factor in like leg kicks, and then what if he just takes you down?
Yeah, what if he wants to toy with you?
He ragdolled like Cyril Gane. He literally picked up Cyril Gane's like 260 pounds. He just picks him up, slams him. I'm like 72 kilos.
Yeah, bro, my little boy body.
Yeah.
I actually think if he wanted to, he could tear me up. Like, you know, the fucking, like,
yeah.
wow.
If he came up to you and you're out with, like, your bird, and he was like, she's mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Shake his hand.
Her birthday's this. She likes this.
What can you do?
No, it's like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah. Please, man. I've had a really bad day.
Yeah.
You know.
He seems like a decent guy, though.
Yeah, no, his story is, like...
Oh, fucking
is
Cameroon
incredible.
mines and shit.
Like, coming from where he came from... It was Cameroon, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's from Cameroon.
And then he went, like, across, like, half of Africa, across, like, the desert and shit, to Morocco. Then, like, trying to get across the border to Spain. Got sent back, like, 7 times. When they catch you, like, the immigrants, then they're trying to get across, they literally send them back to the desert at night. So they'll just take out, like, a truck with, like, the immigrants that they've caught, truck them off the truck in the desert, just outside of Morocco, and then leave them.
Fucking hell.
So 7 times.
Brutal.
So they've got to, like, they get to Morocco. Say they probably spent most of their money on, like, just, like, getting across. So they've got to raise the funds, like, do whatever to get that money.
Christ.
Then pay, like, the smugglers to get across, and then 7 times get sent back before you actually get across to Spain. Then he gets to Spain, and then he goes to France, and he's homeless in France. He's living in the gym.
God, do you think if you asked him, he'd be like, if you asked him, do you regret it, or do you think it was worth it? Do you reckon he'd say yes?
Yeah, of course it was worth it.
Like, to be the point where he is now, would you do it? To be at the point where he is now, do you reckon you could get through it all? I don't think I could. Being left in the desert 7-ish times or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
no, that's, like, another level of, like,
mental
will
strength,
and discipline, that, isn't it?
To be like, this is the, like, it's sort of, do you think it's mental discipline, or do you think it's, I literally cannot live here?
Yeah.
This is the only option.
But that's probably what most people know. Like, it's either I'm going to stay here in this, working in this mine, like, doing, like,
shoveling sand and
20-hour days, or I can, like, try and get out under, like, probably, like, the smaller than 1% chance that I'm actually going to make it. And it took him, like, once he got to France, I think, it was only, like, 8 years. It was only something like 8 years.
Only 8 years.
Well, in, like, the grand scheme of things, like, in terms, if you think of, like, actual, like, fighters, they're going to train from, like a very young age.
Oh, yeah.
He started, like, actually training, like, fighting at probably, like, in his 20s.
Yeah, it's the same as
get to his 30s.
well, wasn't it? Like, I've seen videos of him, like, hooping and shit and playing FIFA. Like,
yeah. I suppose with heavyweights, it's kind of, it's not easier,
but
it's like the skill gap. You can, especially with Ngannou and, like, people like Deontay Wilder, when you've got that power, it's Teddy Atlas calls it an eraser. Like, any mistakes, you just erase it with that big right hand. And Deontay Wilder, it took him, like, I think it was a year or 2 years of starting boxing. And he was in the Olympics, and he won bronze.
That's fucked.
He won bronze within a year and 2 years of boxing.
Jesus Christ.
But for, like, you know, the smaller people, especially the lower weights,
bantamweight, they have to be technical.
The very slight chance that you're gonna have that one punch power, but, like, that's a very, like, 1 in a million, like, God given kind of talent thing. Is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, especially with the Ngannou-Garn fight, like, if Ngannou didn't have the strength, like, obviously he would have lost. And Garn was, like, picking him apart, like, kick, he couldn't.
Well, he took him down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he wrestled.
He literally just picked him up.
Yeah. That was mad. I think it was that, and also in the Stipe fight, when he sprawled the takedown, that was when people were kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's made improvement. Like, since he left his old coach, he's just gone, like...
Yeah.
The thing is, Cyril Garn's with his old coach, and Cyril Garn's, like, a completely different fighter.
Yeah, it's the weird, like, the politics of camps is weird in UFC.
I suppose it depends on, like, one, it depends on who you are as a person, how you like to fight. 2, it depends on the relationship with your coach and the fighter. Like, some coaches are going to gel more than others. Like, they probably, like, Ngannou and his old coach probably didn't gel as much as he does with his new coach. And again, Cyril Garn and vice versa. Like, if you've seen, like, Cyril Garn and his coach, like, holding the pads, like, they're, like, play fight with each other.
Yeah.
Like,
he'll like, hit him back and shit.
Yeah, but I would hate to be his, like, pad holder, because he literally, like, he'll hit the pad and then just, like, sweep him and throw him. Can you imagine that? It would be pretty like demoralizing. Just your job is just getting ragdolled
Yeah.
by like
Yeah.
like 6'9" beast. You just gotta sit there like.
You just gotta take it.
Yeah.
I suppose, yeah, but then he's also probably getting paid a decent amount. Like, I'd probably take it.
Well, I mean, the UFC fighters aren't getting paid that much.
No, but he runs the gym. Actually, no, let's Google it. Let's pull it up. Let's see how much.
I know Francis Ngannou. He only got like 600K
Yeah, which is fucked up.
for the heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
Adesanya made more than him
Mm-hmm.
in his when he fought Whitaker the other day.
So most UFC coaches, they charge between $50 and $150 an hour for the training.
That's not bad, to be fair. Like if you got a PT course, you can start at like £30 an hour.
Oh, and they get 10% of their fight purse. Apparently, that's like the average, 5 to 10%.
Okay,
So that, yeah, to be fair, that's not.
it's decent. If you got like a good like stable of fighters as well, that's pretty bad. It's pretty alright.
Yeah, Jesus. Sorry, who is the lowest paid UFC fighter? P0rn.
What?
P0rn is the lowest paid UFC champion.
How much do you get
He
paid?
got paid 230 grand, which obviously is a lot of money, but
Yeah, for a
considering
champion.
the skill.
Yeah,
I'm so
I
excited.
love P0rn.
I'm so
And
excited.
Aljo.
Yeah, when
Oh,
he's gonna destroy.
I know.
Aljo. I love watching the compilation of P0rn throwing Aljo to the ground.
I remember watching it. I stayed up for that one because it was the same card as the Adesanya when he moved up to fight Blachowicz.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the undercard, and I remember thinking, "Fucking hell, he's just getting like played about." He looked absolutely gassed,
Mm-hmm.
and then when he needed him, it was like, it was all right. Like, I know it's not allowed,
Yeah.
but like he wasn't gonna win, and he just kind of like.
And they played the card, yeah. The annoying thing is, if you watch the clip, you can hear the Russian side of his team shouting knee in Russian.
Really?
Yeah, because
Really?
I don't know why, but they tell him to knee, and then when he does it, they celebrate because they think he's won. Yeah, so there's been a miscommunication of the rules
Like
or some
Ivan
shit.
Drago, if he dies, he
Yeah,
dies,
yeah.
kind of shit, isn't it?
But can you imagine taking that knee? He's on the ground, like he's barely protecting himself.
It's like in the early like UFC days when they would allow like
Pride.
the Pride days where you like if you're on the floor they're just gonna start stomping on your face.
Robert Whitaker thinks soccer kicks should come back, and I think it's the worst thing. It's like, you know how I was telling you today about World Championship having 6 to 12 elbows.
Yeah,
They used to have
yeah.
soccer kicks as well. I don't know if they still do, but can you imagine? Not only have you just been knocked down by some punch, you're then about to get kicked in the head. That's like street fight shit.
Yeah, there's a line. I suppose we're not UFC fighters. We're not like that. We haven't got that like that hunger to like absolutely scrap everyone.
I suppose, yeah.
So we can't. I don't think we commonly grasp the concept of I want to soccer kick someone's face in, especially when they're defenses as well. It's.
To be fair, there are a few people I could list that I want to soccer kick.
I'm gonna name and shame on the podcast.
No, not on the podcast. We've got 17 subscribers, Louis. All right, we've got responsibility.
We've got 100 views on our channel trailer. We've got 22 followers on Instagram now.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Buy a book.
We need to get one of those animations like with the bell and the subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is gonna happen with Paddy the Baddy? He has been recently.
Yeah, I
don't want to say being disciplined. I can't. We can't talk. We're not fucking UFC fighters.
He kicked the shit out of both of us.
He was 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, but I mean, it was pretty obvious. Like after that fight, he was just like scranning everything in sight.
Oh yeah, his sort of ability to cut weight and then gain weight is impressive. I don't know. I was talking to my brother about it. He thinks he's getting knocked out and it would make sense.
Do you know who he's fighting?
He's fighting. Oh, I know. I did know. Vargas. I don't know.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know much about him. That's the thing. Hang on. I'll find out. It's on the. He keeps talking about his oh, my walkout's gonna be crazy, but I don't. Kazula Vargas. That guy. I don't know who he is.
Right. Okay.
But he's made it to the main card, I guess.
Okay. Well, it's because of Paddy.
Yeah, fully. If he gets knocked out, it'll be sad. but somewhat, I think it could be very necessary for his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take an early loss.
Well, he's already lost 4 times, you know.
Oh yeah, but you know what I mean in the UFC.
Yeah.
Like his Cage Warriors was also very good.
Yeah.
I think if he can get, I don't know, what would you rather? Would you rather lose your 2nd fight or your 5th?
Probably the 2nd, because just get out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
Unless you're god level, a loss is coming.
Yeah.
And it's like even like Adesanya, he's 23-1, is he? Like.
I was only when, to be fair, it was only when he moved up to light heavyweight.
Yeah, that's the thing.
At middleweight, no one's beating. I don't think anyone's going to beat Adesanya
which
now.
is impressive.
Yeah. Okay. There's no one. There's was it Jared Cannonier? Yeah, on the weekend.
Next, but he's not. I don't think he's gonna win.
Like there doesn't seem to be anyone else. Like Darren Till's kind of like. Yeah. After the loss to Derek Brunson. He's training with Hamzat now.
Yeah, if he can come back, it'll be sick.
Yeah, I do like Darren Till.
Yeah, like his personality's fun.
The interviews with like Eric Hawani is pretty funny. He's like, I've got a question for you. And he's like, you're gonna fuck your way with that news.
Yeah, and when he's on the Instagram lives, being like, can I swear? Like, fuck shit, cunt, bitch. Like, it is funny.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
It's Ariel like Hawani just gets menaced.
His interviews with like in the early days of UFC like Rampage Jackson. And Rampage just like pushing him about and shit. It's really funny. Darren Till has put on like a bit of weight as well.
Oh, you see the edited photo of him where he's like fucking huge.
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, check that. I think he posted it.
Did he? Another upcoming fight. We got Covington, Masvidal. What's your prediction?
Fucking like, for all we know, Masvidal could fly knee him. Like. Masvidal has the ability to end a fight in seconds or take it all the way, and Covington is also like you were saying before, cardio machine. If he wants to go all the way, his body isn't going to say no. He got his jaw broken against Usman and carried on fighting. Like that is a different breed of mental strength.
I think Covington will beat Masvidal. Like there's Usman he's number 1, and then. It's kind of the same with like Adesanya and Whittaker. Like Adesanya's number 1, but Whittaker could be champion, but he's just because Adesanya's that slight bit above him.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Whittaker could have won that fight. If they had said a new reigning champion, Robert Whittaker, I wouldn't have been like, what? It would have made sense. But it's so like, do you reckon he'll get a 3rd title shot?
What, Whittaker?
Yeah.
Possibly. It depends how well he does again. Like if he like, because he went on a winning streak, didn't he? After Adesanya beat him, then he earned the title shot, didn't he? So if he earns another title shot, then possibly. But I mean, it depends if Adesanya actually goes up. If he might try and go up again. It's like he could do it. He just needs to put on a bit more size.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's just to bulk up a little bit. So Blachowicz, like he can get down to like the light heavyweight limit, but. He blows up afterwards because he'll cut weight and then like on the night he's massive.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
The size difference between them is incredible.
Like the weigh-ins and the actual fight. Like I was talking to Will about this because he was showing me weight classes and asking me what I'd fight in. Because at the moment I've lost a bit of weight. I think I weigh like 76, 77. I'm in the fucking weird zone because I'm tall and lanky, but I'm not big. So I'm heavier. So whether I'd want to bulk up. And then have to fight people in like welterweight, I think it was, who are cutting down from 90 to go to 84, whereas I'm bulking up to 80. Or would I rather cut down and be the biggest in the smallest, or not the biggest in the smallest, but like technically the heaviest?
Yeah, you'd want to cut down because that gives you the most advantage, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the dehydration and the shit they like fighters put themselves through is inhumane sometimes. Like Conor McGregor's weight cut.
Back in like the old days, like in like the 50s and whatnot. You would weigh in the day of the fight. So you'd cut weight. So like normally you have like it's like a 24-hour like hydration period where you eat food and whatever and you blow back up. Yeah. But back then it would be like weigh in, a couple hours later you'd be in the ring.
Oh shit. Do you think that's better or worse?
Worse. Because like fighters are like almost like killing themselves literally just to get down to one weight, and then like you're gonna be absolutely knackered. Because it's absolutely draining, isn't it? Like you're draining yourself of like fluids and whatnot. Like you're not going to be, you're like top 100. Like it's dangerous, especially with like not much time to recover. And fighters would fight like multiple times a month.
Oh, bro, the fucking like, who was? I think it was Mike Tyson talking about on Hot Boxing. He was talking about how Floyd Mayweather is good,
Mhm.
and he's got a very good, decent record.
Mhm.
But fighters used to have like 200 fights in their career, and go like, was it Sonny Ray who went like 98 fights unbeaten?
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray. Yeah.
Sonny
My
Ray.
bad, my bad. It's all the blows to the head before.
Yeah.
Like
I
that.
beat Yannick up in sparring. Just before.
That's another like.
Yeah. Let me. I'll pull up Henry Armstrong's record.
Yeah.
Henry Armstrong, he's probably the GOAT. And a lot of the fights as well, like you can go online and you can find that record, and there'll be like 100 odd fights, but a lot of them weren't actually recorded, like because they were like in the 40s.
Oh really?
Like a lot of them is gonna just get lost to time.
Shit.
So.
God, I'd be fuming if I had like 50 fights. That well, I suppose, would you know?
Henry Armstrong. So it says on BoxRec, 180 fights. It's making me log in. I'm not looking at that. But he probably had about 300 fights. And if you think, so when was his career? 1931 to 1945. So how many years is that? 14?
Nice maths. I think 14.
14. So let's say it's 300 fights divided by 14. That's 21 fights a year.
Jeez.
So that's
like
at least
2 a month.
Yeah.
Fuck.
But they were so good back then because they fought so often.
Yeah.
Like they were incredible. They were like, the fights today are like nothing. Like no disrespect, I can't really say anything. But they were nothing compared to like the fights like the 40s and the 50s.
It is very funny that we're here like critiquing and analysing as two 17-year-olds that spar on the weekend.
Have you seen that meme? It's like the fat guy on like the couch, and it's like, oh yeah, I want to throw like a head kick and then fall over the right hand if I was in right now. Like fuck off, would you keep on the floor if you were in the octagon right now?
Whenever there's like a big fight on, everyone becomes a boxing expert.
Yeah.
Like,
All
well,
the
no,
comments.
see, actually, because you look at the weight class, so like, is it like fuck off, fuck off.
Unless you're me, I'm already a
True,
already a boxing
Yeah.
expert, so I know everything there is to know about the sport.
I've noticed with all sports, like when we play football in the Aussie or something, when I'm watching football, I appreciate it more because I understand slightly more. You need this to do that.
Yeah.
You're kicking a ball, and when it's fighting, it's not like, oh, why didn't he hit him then? It's because, oh, he would have got countered. He would have done this. It's like watching, especially with the Adesanya Silva fight, where it looks like a sparring session because they're not throwing that much, but because they're both playing two very high technical games, it's sort of like, it's impressive.
They're doing like stuff that like only they're gonna know what they're doing.
Yeah, literally, you're watching it like, huh?
Because they're gonna be like fainting and like doing
yeah,
the, like
when he's doing that like
yeah,
that shit.
Yeah, like they're gonna be doing that. They're gonna like measuring each other and like predicting like they're gonna be thinking like calculating their next move.
Yeah, it's a chess game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think all martial arts can be boiled down to a bit of a chess game.
I think people don't realize that there's like levels to the sport.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're like new, you think, oh, okay, I just learned to do this, and you like when you like hit the pads the first few times, you hit the bag, you think, fucking hell,
yeah, boxing's easy, and then you have that week period of like, I'm the baddest motherfucker ever,
and then you just like spar for your first time against someone like a little bit more experienced, and you get absolutely fucking flattened, and you come out and you think, holy shit, what the fuck? I'm nothing.
No, it's a really humbling experience all the time.
You think that person like just above you, a person just above them would beat them, and then above and above and above and above,
level.
and then you go all the way to all the way to world level, and it's like it's a whole different world of like actual skill. Like what they're doing, it's like to be able to do what they're doing is taking years and like sweat and blood and tears and like a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of people don't appreciate that. And it's especially hard to appreciate when, again, you're just like, you know, a couch potato, keyboard warrior, like, fuck it, he's a shit fighter, like, you know, I would have done this, like, you should have done this. It's like, it's hard to appreciate that. I don't realize how much effort and time goes into camp, and money goes into like a camp of like preparation for a fight. It's insane.
There's that phrase, isn't it? Everyone has a game plan until they get a punch in the face. And it's like, especially when you're sitting on the couch, never going to get punched in the face in the ring, it's like you can think, oh, I would have done this, I'd do that.
Everyone, like, when they're in comfort, they can plan and think, oh, I can do that, I'll do this. When it comes to it, if you're not actually used to getting outside of your comfort zone, then it's kind of like, can you really? Because you don't even know yourself.
Yeah.
You haven't been outside that comfort zone yourself to know that, like, I'm in a zone where I've never been before. Can I actually handle myself in that zone?
Yeah, 100%. It's me and Will talk about this a lot. It's like, do we have a chin? Because neither of us have ever been punched in the face bare knuckle before, so we literally have no idea. But
do it for the podcast.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, to find out, we have to put ourselves in that position. Yeah. And so for touch wood, we'll never have to know.
Teddy Atlas always says, Teddy Atlas is like a Hall of Fame boxing trainer. He trained Mike Tyson in the amateurs. Cool. He was like one of his first trainers, and he's got like, I think he's got 18 world champions to his name. Yeah, he's got his own podcast, and it's really good. Like, I would really recommend.
If you get him as a guest.
yeah. I'll message you on Instagram. I lost my train of thought there.
Talking about Teddy Atlas, being a trainer. I was talking about getting hit, having a chin.
Yeah. So he says, punches should be like raindrops on a windshield, like on your car. So you just brush them off. You just put your windscreen wipers on, you brush them off. But you should never have to test it really. Like, if your windscreen, your chin is, you can just brush it off. Like, hopefully, like, great fighters, they're gonna have a good chin. Like, did you watch Amir Khan?
Oh my god, bro. All the commentators were just talking shit about him from the very start. He got rocked in like the third round, and then the commentators like, it was just a jab. Like, fucking hell.
To be fair, like, Amir Khan, like, doesn't have a chin.
No, he does not at all. I don't know how he did so well in the Olympics.
Or his career. Like, he's got balls, to be fair to him. Like, every time he gets rocked, he can, like, come back from it.
Yeah, he's got, the mental strength.
Yeah, but his chin, it's a shame because he's a really good boxer, and he's fast. His hands are so fast. But, like, I remember, I think it was just in the first round, and he was boxing pretty well, but he started to slow down in the later rounds, but he was boxing well, and he was fast. And then he just got, like, hit once, and then he was like, I was thinking, fuck. Yeah. Like, if he had a better chin, he could go to another level.
Yeah, probably. But that's the brace, isn't it? It's like, if I had this, if I had that, you know, if I was a world-class UFC champion, I'd be a world-class UFC champion.
There's a lot of, like, when you're talking about skill level, it's kind of like a sieve. Like, imagine like a sieve in rocks, different size rocks. And if you imagine, like, what's those graphs called? And it's like, it's like an attribute graph or something. Like, you can have like all these different, and it's like a shape.
Oh, it feels like
a shape.
Name, but I know when you're
so say like I've got like speed, power, agility, head movement, footwork, and you imagine it gives like a different shape. The lower that is, the more I'm gonna fall through the gaps of, like, say, like world championship levels here. If I had like all of them like maxed out and I had a full like big circle, and you've tried to sieve that out, it wouldn't fall through the gaps. No. But if I had a small one, it would go through. And what's quite interesting is people who have like one, like really like Deontay Wilder, so that's gonna give him like a very like weird looking shape.
Because it'll go like speed, power.
Yeah.
But then footwork.
So that may stay at the top when you try and sieve it out. It might just, because of the shape, it might stay there, but it's not going to be as like stable staying there, because if you shake it a bit more, it might fall through.
That's interesting. That's an interesting idea.
So it's quite interesting.
What do you think your graph looks like? Say if you've got
like a tiny circle.
So you've got power, speed, strength,
power,
footwork,
all the way.
Yeah, obviously.
Footwork all the way. Yeah, full circle, bro. I'm just, you know, if I'm not dedicated enough, if I was a bit more dedicated, then, you know, I'd be world champion in a few years, bro. Nah, realistically, I'm just like, I'm going all the way through to the bottom. But maybe like regional level, and like amateur regional level, I'd be there.
Yeah, I suppose. What's your like greatest attribute in fighting, do you think? Because I definitely know you're most fucking annoying.
Wow.
As someone who fights you, head movement is your most annoying thing, because you're decent at that. So I'm just like, you know.
Now my head movement's good against you.
Because I'm shit at boxing. Yeah.
No, you look shit. I'm just that level above you. Like I said, there's levels. There's levels.
Yeah.
Once, again, it's that levels thing. Like if someone's above me, then my head movement's gonna be shit.
In comparison, it just depends.
If I'm fighting someone who's below me, then my head movement's gonna be like I'm gonna Muhammad Ali, like, I'm gonna be like shuffling and if I suppose you have to make it like on par, like you're on the same level, so you can't have someone above you, you can't have someone beneath you if you want to like measure your attributes.
Oh, you're just looking like objectively.
Yeah. Like compared to like say, so if it was me against me, I'd probably say like my movement maybe.
Yeah, you're very good at making angles, which is like one of the in the big list of shit I struggle with in boxing. Creating angles, head movement, like speed and power. I think I'm okay with, but like I'm like speed. But I think it's because anyone can punch hard and anyone can move themselves fast. If you're built like that. But I think when it comes to out of those four, actual boxing skill is in the head movement and the other one. I can't remember what I said.
Yeah, if you had two of the exact same fighters and they had the exact same attributes, the thing that's going to set them apart is their tactics.
Yeah.
Because if I knew about the other person, what they're good and bad at, I can exploit that. But if they didn't know, then they're not going to know what to do. Whereas I can go in with a game plan and I can just immediately like bang, 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 and get them out of there.
Yeah, but maybe I need to. This is something I've thought about before because like essentially in all my fighting, apart from like when I've done like club training, most of it comes from you, and so you'll train me to fight how you'll fight. So do you think that there's a difference in the fact that because we've got quite different bodies, you're in the pocket, bam bam, I should be a range sort of counter, I feel like, based on me. Do you think that could be what's the word, like holding me back essentially?
No, because you haven't even done much sessions really. Like you usually put more time into it, and you need to like. But I'm not a coach, am I? Like realistically, we haven't really covered much. Like I've taught you like slipping like a bit of slipping and rolling, like the concept of like.
I disagree.
Weight transfer.
If you think about it, you've like since we used to do kickboxing in like year 8, however it was. There's always been a Louis, how do I do this? Then I started going to the gym and I was like, Louis, how do I do this?
Right.
I think you've always been in a sort of a coach position. So I think you're just talking about the past few weeks. If you look at the grand scheme of things, I think there's been I'm like a little ball of Play-Doh that you've had to mold because I'm like, Louis, how do you do this?
Yeah, we think we're both still learning. Like, there's only so much I know. There's only so much you know. Like. Maybe
you're the issue. Maybe I need to get a better coach.
I mean, you only come to sessions to like spar.
Yeah, true.
Occasionally.
It's whenever you're like, do you want to spar? I'm like, yeah. I just like to spar. Yeah. Unlike some who forgets everything. Who could that be? Not that we're salty or anything.
Not that they flapped sparring today. Yeah. Don't want to shout them out.
For the 3rd time in a row. I feel like this has been very fight heavy so far.
No, it's what it is, isn't it? We can talk about anything.
It's an easy to talk about subject, isn't it?
Well, change subject.
Go on.
One of the things I wanted to talk about was like social media and like the impact on phones and screens and like apps on our like day-to-day life nowadays.
One thing, I think my screen time is ridiculously high.
Yeah, me personally, I have recently a higher screen time. I'll read mine out.
Yeah.
If you get yours, I'll get mine. How do you get? Oh yeah, screen time. Here we go. Okay. So this week.
Yeah, it's Monday, isn't it?
How do I see all activity? There we go.
Yeah, days and then. Oh shit! You can go back at the top.
Yeah. So So last week, what was your average?
My last week average. 9 hours 5 minutes.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is the thing, bro. Because like I've got a lot of online commitments in the sense of like I've got to text Georgia. I'm always checking Amazon to see shit I can scam. Looking at 63 hours and 41 minutes in the week.
Shit, yeah, I've got 30 hours 25 minutes.
So I've got double your screen time.
Fuck.
That's ridiculous.
Fucking hell. And I think I've got a high screen time.
Yeah, that's
like I'm trying to cut down.
That's for last week. Let me go back because it could just be a sort of particularly high week. Yeah, my week before that was 5 hours.
My week before that was 3 hours 50,
Jesus.
and the week before that was 3 hours 45.
So what do you do? Because a lot of my spare time, fucking on Instagram for 14 hours. Jesus.
14?
I think that's in the week. No.
Is this like over? Like the whole week.
Yeah, the whole week.
Okay.
Fucking hell, an hour on Rocket League.
Can you get Rocket League on your phone?
Yeah, but that's my favourite app game at the moment. Is Rocket League.
Right.
So
You actually play games on your phone?
This is the one game I play on my phone.
I don't have games on my phone.
Yeah, everyone plays like Clash Royale and shit, and I just go on this. I'm a beast at it.
So I spent last week total. I spent 6 hours 32 on social networking. Can definitely cut that down. 5 hours 6 minutes on entertainment, and an hour and 37 on health and fitness. That's like my fitness app.
Oh yeah.
Like the timer app. So 55 minutes on Spotify. 4 hours and 10 on YouTube. To be fair, on YouTube, I'm not always looking at my phone.
Yes,
So I put on a video and then I'll put it down and I'll walk about with my headphones in.
I do that.
So my screen time may be a little bit less. Snapchat, fucking 4 hours.
4 hours on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Damn. Fucking hell, bro.
An hour and 55 on Instagram. An hour and 36 on like my fitness app. 55 minutes on Spotify, 45 minutes on Safari, and 33 minutes on TikTok.
Guess what you think my Instagram is? It's my most used app. Guess.
This is the whole week.
Yeah.
5 hours.
Guess again.
7 hours. What? More. 10. Fuck off. 12. 15.
14 and a half. That's I haven't like looked at my screen time. I looked at it. But if you think about all the shit I could have been doing for 14 hours.
Yeah, this is the thing.
Oh my god.
This is the thing with a lot of people today. I always hear like, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time.
Make time.
Look at your screen time. If your screen time is over like 2 hours a day, you have time.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I find myself, as much as I try not to, I find myself just like doom scrolling. Like I'm sitting there and I'm just scrolling. I'm not even thinking. I'm just looking. I'm just consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And as well, I've noticed as well, my mood is like directly like correlated to how much time I spend on my phone. So or screens in general.
Mm.
The more time I spend on the screen, the more like down I am in terms of my mood.
Interesting.
And I think anyone who's kind of like, oh no, well, you know, I'm having fun. Like, oh you fuck.
Well, yeah. See, when it comes to phone screen time, very rarely. Like, it's not necessarily like if I'm texting someone, it's not bad, but it's also not fun. It's just like I'm just texting someone. I think when it comes to screen time, I've recently started trying to play Xbox more because it's something I enjoy, and so it's like that brings me joy.
Right.
But apart from that, my screen time on Xbox is probably like an hour for the week. Like it's not a big. I don't play it that much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I know what you mean about it's like when you're just there, like I'm not interested. Why
it's so easy to get into that as well. Like because the apps, TikTok and Instagram and Snapchat and YouTube, they have literally like tested the most efficient way to get as much screen time as possible. Like they are specifically designed literally to the type of font and the size of the font. That's how like detailed they've gone into like testing how much you're gonna spend on their app, and it's like I think with Steve Jobs, he didn't let his daughter have an iPhone.
Beast.
Yeah. Like he was like no.
Yeah.
And app engineers like they know themselves like, yeah, this is fucked up. Like you like, and they get pulled into themselves. Like
yeah, that must be a weird position to be someone who's like, right, how are we gonna rope people in?
Even for like us, it's like if we're saying like, you know, get off your screens, don't look at your phone.
And then I'm gonna to go and look at Instagram for 14 hours a week.
I mean, when we're making a podcast.
Oh, true. Actually,
for people
stay
to-
on your phone, right?
Yeah,
Use
watch
YouTube.
I think people need to think of their devices more as a tool, not as a consumption, because, like, we've got literally the internet. We can find anything we want to find. You've never been able to do this in history, and that's made us strangely know nothing. We know everything because it's on here, but we know nothing. Like, if you ask me like a fact from like what happened in World War II or something in London,
Yeah,
I might have learned that, but now that I've got my phone, I don't need to know it, so my brain's gonna lose it because I've got on here. I don't need to know it.
What dates did or like the year did World War One start and what day did it finish? I think I know this.
Is it 1918?
For which one?
World War One, the start.
Start in 1918.
No. See, this is what I mean.
Yeah.
See, we might have learned it in school, and we learned it for like an exam. But now we got this. Like we don't need to know it, so our brain doesn't need to like expand and develop. That's gonna fuck our brains up.
I think it's already done that.
It's just it's way beyond that.
I think as well. I think World War One started in 1914.
And yeah. See,
Yeah.
see, it's the phone. It's the phone.
It's
not my inferior knowledge. It's the phone, bro. I'll Google it.
I remember actually. I got like the best sort of history or like school report I'd ever had. It was from do you remember Miss Alicia?
Yeah.
And she was like, Yannick displays superior knowledge in class. And, like, I walked around with a boner for like a week after that, bro. I did not
1914 to 1918. Well done.
Nice.
Well done.
See, even with 9 hours a day. Fuck, 9 hours a day. I can't. Oh. That's fucked me up a little.
And one of the other negatives is your attention span. Because it's so accepted in society. Everyone's like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. Like, people don't realize it's not talked about and it's not brought up as often as it should be because it's a serious issue. Because a challenge, if people actually want to do this, sit down, turn your phone off for 1 hour and focus on something, one thing, focus on one thing, and I guarantee you won't be able to do it if you're not used to like turning your phone off. I guarantee you won't be able to do it.
I reckon I struggle with that because I always have like background music on. I've always got this on. Like I've conditioned myself for it. Like when I try to sleep without having like a meditation thing on, I'm like, fucking. That's
the thing with attention is because it's an instant dopamine hit. Like like on TikTok, right? Video, swipe, video. And
that's why I deleted it.
Yeah.
Because I sort of deleted it and then replaced it with Instagram Reels.
Yeah.
Which just fucked me.
Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. Not even not TikTok anymore, but Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts once I start, it's like
I literally
20 minutes have gone by.
I have to pull myself away because I'm like, oh, he's fighting him. Let's look at that. Top 10 knockouts. Let's look at that. It's like, and it's in such a short format. It's like the whole idea of, oh, I've got time for this. I've got time for this. Oh, it's just one more.
Yeah.
That's just one more.
Yeah.
Because it's that fast.
And then it goes. And the thing is, people say like, oh, we not get bored, so I go on TikTok. What? Why?
You're just gonna be bored on your phone.
You cannot. You can't. You're that much. Like you can't sit with your own thoughts, or you don't have something else to focus on. That you just go on TikTok and you're just getting overstimulated. So your brain, it's not relaxing at all.
No.
Like you think, oh, I'm just gonna chill my phone, just gonna go on Instagram. It's not relaxing because your brain's constantly being stimulated. It's different with, like reading or like sometimes when I go to bed, I will literally, my phone has been off for like an hour or 2 hours because I turn it off early, and I'm lying in bed. I lie in bed and I'll just look at the wall. Yeah. And I just think I sit there with my thoughts and I just process my thoughts, and people don't do that because this is here now. Whenever you get bored, whenever you start thinking of something, you just go on that. People don't sit down, and I think that might be another thing about mental health these days, like what's seriously affecting them is people can't sit down and they're not comfortable with the thoughts that are going through their heads. They haven't like processed them, they haven't written them down, they haven't analysed them, like what's causing them to think this, what issues are there. And I think I do think that this is like
there's so much that it affects.
like when I'm like, if I do revision, what I do is, I'll do 30 minutes, phones away.
Pure focus.
I put a timer on. There's nothing else that I'm doing. I'm focusing on that one thing. And people need to learn. People need to relearn. And I find this as well. I've gone through a few days where I'm spending loads of time on my phone. People need to relearn how to sit down and focus on one thing.
Yeah.
When people, it's kind of like glorified multitasking. Like if you can multitask, it's like, wow, that's so cool. Look at you. You're being very productive. But you're not actually being productive, because say I've got 5 things I'm trying to do at once. I can't actually do 5 things at once. I can't be like typing on a computer here and then typing on a computer here. I do like 5 minutes there, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes there. And you're not actually being efficient. You're not getting things done. You actually do less.
Yeah.
If you just like hyper focus on one thing, smash it out, and then do the next thing, it's much more efficient. And our brains can actually process the one thing. When you've got like multiple things on the go, you just
get overwhelmed.
Yeah,
and it's like the sheer magnitude of all the shit you have to do makes you do nothing.
It's like usually I write a to-do list of things I've got to do in a day. And I do that one at a time before I focus on one thing, because I've usually got a pretty long to-do list. So I'm not going to be like doing 5 minutes because I don't get things done. I just focus on the one thing. Like I'll write down like 30 minutes French revision. I'll do 30 minutes. Boom. Okay, done. Tick it. Next thing.
Yeah, fuck maybe. Apparently lists are really good for like all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I'm like, yeah, I'll do that, and I never do. I'll do it in a bit, and then I've done it.
I find the more you can write things out, because it's like, especially when you're overstimulated as well, you've got so many thoughts running through your head because you're not like used to controlling them and like dialing on that one thing. Write them all down.
Yeah.
Take a shit on the paper. Take an idea. I've been thinking about this concept. Take an idea shit.
Why does it have to be an idea shit? Why can't it just be like something nicer?
Take an idea poo. On a piece of paper. Write everything down. Everything that's going on. Write it down.
Yeah.
And then you can actually, because when you're like thinking, you're trying to pick things out, another thing comes in, and then that's gone, and then your mind keeps racing. You write it down, and then you can visualize it, and your brain can break it down, and then you can actually like go through things one by one. And I think that is something that's not taught and it's not really talked about these days. And I think like overstimulation in terms of this and like technology, I think that's like a big thing.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. I think with the lists as well, when you've got things that you're worried about, deadlines, due dates, all that shit, it's sort of when you can see it in front of you. At least for me, I imagine it makes it smaller. In my head, it's bigger and bigger and bigger because my imagination just runs. Yeah. And all the worst possible case scenarios can happen. But when it's just written down, it's like it's just that. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you heard of Parkinson's law?
No, go on.
It's essentially like an idea that like, say I've got a piece of homework due for, it's Monday today, and I say it's due for Friday. I'm not gonna get that done until Friday, till it's due, till right before it's due. Yeah. because you think, right, okay, I've got till Friday.
So you don't do it. Yeah, true. Fuck.
That's the amount of time you give yourself. Say I give myself 5 days to do it, I will do it in that 5 days. But if I give myself an hour to do it, that's like my deadline is within an hour. That's how long it's got to be doing. That's how long I'm going to do it in. I'm going to complete it in an hour.
Fuck. Yeah.
It's true, isn't it? Like say like it's due at midnight tonight and it's 11 o'clock now. I'll do it within an hour. And if I smash it out within an hour, I could have done it an hour on Tuesday last week.
And not have to worry about it for the other 3 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think, especially with those, I create my own problems when it comes to schoolwork because I'm just like, I don't want to do it, so I don't do it. But like, because I've got so much time, I can relax, I can do this. Yeah.
The thing with like being like, oh, I'll do it in a couple of days. I'm on half term. I'll do it in a couple of days. You don't do it in a couple of days.
A couple of days comes and you're like, no, I've still got time.
Yeah, I'll do it at the end of the week. I've got to stay in the week and I'll do it then. No, you don't do it.
No, you don't.
But with that, you've got to remember to be disciplined and actually set yourself like a limit of, I'm going to do it within a day. I'm going to do it within an hour. I'm going to do it within a couple hours, a couple of days, and not like let it drag out. And as well, like you're gonna get that like hit of dopamine. Like if you get that task done and it's ready, like you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, bro. When you like I did my first actual maths AFL the other week, and it was like, yeah, this
You're
feels
like
good.
You're like months into your action.
No,
You're
I'm
like
2
2 years in, and you've done your first AFL for maths.
So I think I got like 50% on it as well.
Oh, I mean, you did it.
I did it, and I felt good. I was excited to go into school because I was like, yeah, go on,
Yeah.
bitch.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
bitch. I've done it.
Fucking, I did it, and then for the day that it was set, and she was like, no, we'll go through it tomorrow. I was like, okay.
Well, you've done it.
Yeah, at least
That's
I
the
had
thing.
It. At least I had it.
I think that's another thing people need to learn as well. Like, just being disciplined. Have you heard it? Do you know Jocko Willink?
No.
He's like a former Navy SEAL. And like, he has a podcast. And he's like a motivation speaker.
No, I've seen clips from his podcast.
He's got a book and it's called Discipline Equals Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I truly do agree with like discipline does really equal freedom. Like if I've got I've got a project, I've got a business, it takes a lot of fucking effort to like actually make something like succeed. And you need the discipline to have that freedom, because once you get that business going and you've got it up, you had the discipline and the willpower to put in the work, and you get that freedom now. You put yourself through the pain, and now you're gonna reap the benefits. If I didn't have the discipline, I'd still be in the exact same place I was today. You need that discipline. I was thinking about it the other day. I wrote this down actually, because it was an idea. One thing as well, staying off this, my mind's so much clearer, and I got so much more ideas, and like I don't want to say I'm more creative, but like just like what I'm thinking in my head, it's not just like I'm not like frazzled. I'm not like.
That's interesting, because I'm not very creative in the sense like I struggle to just think of new things. So I feel like maybe
get off this seriously. This is like a modern day plague.
Day plague.
I probably sound like I'm a bit extreme, but like it really is. Like when you sit down and you try and like spend a day, turn this off, do not look at it for a day, right? You will be like, what the fuck? What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I've got nothing to do. And then you can see those gaps and you can start to like fill with something productive.
Yeah.
Like a project. You can read. You can exercise. Write this down. I'll try and like read out like in a more concise way. A lot of the time, especially with my to-do list, if I fail to do it, I would beat myself up. I think a lot of people do. It's like there's like always a what's the word? It's like you're obliged to like keep up, and you've got to, especially today, you've got to keep up. You've got to get shit done, and when you don't, you feel like you feel shit about yourself. You feel down, and it's like you feel as if like I'm not disciplined. I'm not resilient. I'm not like I don't have willpower. I keep failing, but you still do have that discipline because you're consistent. Even though you're not consistent in getting shit done, you're consistent in trying to get it done. Yeah. You keep coming back, even though you failed. You keep coming back, and you keep trying to get shit done. You've got this project, or maybe you've got a goal. Right, I've got a goal to lose £10 in a month. Right, say this person failed at it, and you think, fuck. You have that initial like, down period of feeling shit, but then you show up again. Yeah. You're back in the gym, but then you fail again. But you had got back in the gym. You kept showing up.
Yeah,
that takes discipline. That itself, the showing up takes discipline. That's the hardest part of actually showing up. Once you've got the momentum and you're actually doing shit, then it gets a bit easier because you're just in the flow. You're doing it. You're in the motion. It's starting. That's the hardest part.
Taking the first step, because what is it? Is it like 27 days forms a habit? So you
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we had way back when. Going to the gym every lunchtime, and then it just became gym lunch. Cool.
Yeah. It's once you got that momentum, shit becomes easy when you got the momentum.
Yeah.
It's starting, and the fact that if you can try to start, you're going to the hardest part every single time you failed, and you're doing that again and again and again. That's going to be discipline. As long as you keep showing up, you will eventually achieve that goal.
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice I give anyone listening to this, if you don't already, start lifting. 100%. I think it's if you can be dedicated enough to lift and like continue, because it's something where you have to essentially hurt your body every day to get sick. Like I think if you can do that, then there's basically not much you can't do.
The butterfly effect that has on the positive
yeah.
implications that has on every other aspect of your life. When I started, like, 'cause I used to be pretty fat. So did you.
Yeah, we
were
weren't
both. We
weren't like obese. We were just chubby kids.
Yeah, we were chubby. Once I started like going to boxing, once I started like going to the gym, like everything else became so much easier. Like I used to be like scared of talking to people.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't have any I didn't have any self confidence.
Yeah.
And then once you like lose a bit of weight, I remember Joel said to me, "Oh, you lost a bit of weight there, Lou," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was
straight
like
to the brain.
And then that was like a sort of key of unlocking of like, holy shit, like I can fucking change, like I can fucking do
I'm
shit.
not stuck like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you know that and you can start putting effort into that and like changing, your like self confidence and your self image goes through the roof. And then that when you have a good self image, that improves every other aspect of your life, your social life.
Mm-hmm.
Like once I started like going to the gym and like I became more confident, I made more friends.
Yeah.
I like talked to more people, like legit.
Yeah. Damn, bro. I think because with me, mine was different. I was bullied by everybody.
Yeah.
Until puberty struck, and I just got tall and skinny, and my life just went flipped.
I remember we used to play tag at lunch, didn't we?
Oh my god!
And it was always.
I'd always get tagged first because I was slow.
And then
I couldn't run fast, and then we had the whole targeting
Yeah,
thing because that was the only way in my head that I could be like, no, it's not me.
Yeah.
This game is unfair.
Yeah.
And then like puberty.
Yeah, because remember you made this specific rule for you because.
To be fair, right? Because they knew I was slow
here we go.
They were like, let's get in. But at the same time, I think I abused it to some point.
Yeah, because always the first like two people that were caught were on.
Yeah, I was.
Beyond it. And you were pretty much always the first person to be caught.
The targeting rule, by the way, was that you couldn't what was it? You couldn't go for the same person. Like there was like if you were going after a person in tag and they ran into a group of other people who weren't it, that like you couldn't continuously go for that same person.
Yeah. It was something like you couldn't just be a twat and like try and go for the fat guy.
Because Finn used to do that. Finn used to do that to me. I think that's where my beef with Finn started.
You got beef with Finn?
Yeah, I've always got beef with Finn.
You're gonna call him out for a scrap?
Call him out, yeah, Finn. You know where I am. You know where I go to school.
I know where you live, bro. Throw a brick through the window.
Do you ever miss like those days, like year 8? I think year 8 wasn't the best year, but before year like 10, year 8's the second best year I think of high school.
Nah.
Do you not?
No. Like everything that has ever happened in your life has led up to where you has made you the person that you are. And like everyone's been through different shit, and it's like I don't want to. As fun as the times were, like don't get me wrong, like I had like year 9, like I have so many fond memories. I'm happy, like I'm grateful of where I am right now, and I think like I'm excited. I'm looking at like the future, like what's gonna happen. I'm not bothered about what's happened in the past. Like what's happened in the past happened in the past. Like that's just shit's in the past, isn't it? Like I can't do anything. Like I'm grateful, even the bad shit, even like bad shit that you've been through. Like if you've got bullied, like it's a weird concept, but you should be grateful for that because that got you to where you are today. No.
New podcast title: Be grateful for bullying.
Like obviously, like you should not bully anyone. I'm not gonna say go out and bully someone and then like thank your bully for bullying you. I'm going to read this quote out.
Go on.
This is from Will Smith's book, and this is a grandma saying this. Mm-hmm. She seemed like a very smart person, and so this is in the start of the book, and they were in church, and Will Smith was like looking at his grandma, and she looked dead happy, and he goes, oh, "Why are you so happy all the time?" Obviously, they're in church. She's a very religious person, so she said, "I trust God, and I'm so thankful for His grace in my life. Every single breath is a gift, and it's impossible to be unhappy when you're grateful."
Oh,
that last bit, it is impossible to be unhappy when you're grateful. If you're grateful for everything that's gone on in your life, if you can flip the negative things into a positive, the power that you've got over that thought, over that thing, it's empowering, and you're looking your whole mind shifts. You no longer think in a negative way. You think in a positive way. Everything changes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Every like insult that has like ever been directed your way has made you more resilient. It's made you a more resilient person. Someone who's never been insulted in their life, they're gonna be a bit of a bitch. So as soon as someone calls them fat, they're gonna cry.
Yeah, I suppose.
You've been called fat. I don't know.
So
many times, right?
Yeah.
But you're stronger than the fact. You're a fat piece of shit now.
Yeah, no.
Like it's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're resilient to that.
It means nothing. I suppose. Yeah, that's a very fuck.
If you can turn the negatives into a positive, you've got power over that. You're in such a better mind. You're in such a better mindset already. There, your mental health is so much better.
It's very difficult.
Like, it is extremely difficult. Yeah, but it's a skill as well. You've got to learn how to do it. But when you can learn how to do it, it's very.
Once it clicks,
it's not liberating.
Well, I imagine it's liberating.
Yeah, like you've got the power over that. Like everything that's happened in your life has brought you to this moment.
Yeah.
And has made you the person you are today, and how strong you are today, and how smart and knowledgeable, and how much experienced you are today. If you're thankful for that, everything happens for a reason.
True. Do you believe in like fate?
Yeah, I think so.
So you think like no matter what you do, you're going to end up in one place?
I think there's definitely a bit of leeway. Like there are decisions in life where.
Yeah, there's some like extremes. Like I can kill myself and then like I'd never get there.
Yeah, or even like the small things, like not small things, but like there's always. Sometimes you get crossroads in your life, isn't there, where you have a big choice to make, and that could like seriously impact the rest of your life. And obviously, maybe you are fated to go that way. Maybe you are good. There's no other like timeline.
Yeah, do you think you'll always come back?
It could do.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, but I do think everything does happen for a reason, because sometimes even bad things that happen, then you think like eventually it might work out, and something else happens and it clicks like, oh, I wasn't in that place. Maybe like, so like there was a party and I was ill, so I couldn't go to the party. But then there was like a scrap at the party, or someone came looking for someone at the party, and then like shit kicked off.
Yeah.
Like I was fortunate enough, even though in the present, in that one moment, I had that bad feeling. In the long term, it worked out better. And I go back to Will Smith's book. His mum, she was like traveling and she broke her leg, and she had to be like she was in, I want to say like Egypt or somewhere, and or she was in a hospital. She was in like a hospital, and they didn't have the means to treat her because she like broken her leg, and so obviously because Will Smith, he airlifts her or whatever, like gets like the private jet or whatever, and goes to like a proper hospital in another country, like in like a nearby like wealthier country, and they were like, oh yeah, it'd be like 3 months for your leg to heal, and then she's like, nah, cut it off, because she loved traveling that much, and it turned out that even though she had to stop traveling because of her leg, she had missed a cruise. That hospital that she was in, there was like an earthquake.
Oh fuck!
So she actually got out lucky, and she got a leg amputated because she wanted to go back traveling. And she said she like quoted that as like, that was just a small price to pay. Like God like protected me from that earthquake, got me out of there, and like hundreds of people died, and all she had to pay for her life was a leg. That's how she like rationalized it. That's how she rationalized it. And if you can do it like that,
interesting.
That's a very powerful way of thinking.
Well, I don't know. Like, I suppose it's subjective, but
yeah, it's definitely subjective.
So you lost the use of both your legs.
Mm-hmm.
How would I can't imagine carrying on without being able to use my legs, because everything I do uses my legs. I want to skate, I can't. I want to spar you, I can't. I want to go jiu-jitsu, I can't. I want to walk to school, I can't. I feel we take for granted a lot of our natural body.
We definitely everything, not even just our body, but everything in like day-to-day life.
If I left you in the woods, you'd miss every little thing.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Like, what would you do if you use your legs? I suppose you have no other option but to make the best of what you've got.
Yeah, you can either fall into that pit of grief, over missing your legs.
Yeah, the option of just feeling sorry for yourself, or you can actually make the most of your situation, and you can be grateful that you still got your body.
I see these moments. Yeah, I definitely feel sorry for myself though.
Of course you would.
Yeah,
but I think eventually you come around and think, okay, but I'm still fortunate enough to have my arms. I've still got a functioning head.
Yeah, get fucking huge arms. Wouldn't you?
Yes, like it is a lot about mindset. I think it's something that should definitely be taught. And I think to teach mindset as well, it's not like you have to go and practice it. You can't just be like in a lesson and like having a lecture of this person is disciplined, you should be disciplined as well. You have to actually go out and like work hard and like go through the shit to feel good.
Yeah, I like my discipline isn't great in like day-to-day life. Like I'll miss training days and shit like that. But one thing that I always make sure to be disciplined on, I think I've told you about the cold showers, is making sure I have at least like 30 seconds at the end of a shower where it's as cold as my shower can go. Because then it's like I've put myself out of my comfort zone for at least 30 seconds a day. And if it's something I can do every day, then it's discipline.
I think doing a difficult challenge as soon as you wake up is a great way to start your day. Yeah. Just like a cold shower. Like I'll take a cold shower every morning, but like.
Yeah, you do full cold, don't you?
Yeah.
I've done that. Like I did it once the other day, and it makes me angry. Like.
You know, just starting the day with something difficult is definitely great because when I wake up in the morning, especially when it's a school day,
fucking hell,
and you always think, I'm fucking like 10 more. You know, is this lesson really worth?
I'm like physics.
Like, you know, I could have another hour of sleep. Like, is it actually worth?
In the morning, sleep is more valuable than anything in the world.
And I think, especially the cold shower, because it's like a kickstart. Yeah. Like it just gets you going. Like I wake up, like I'm getting in the shower. Sometimes I don't want to get out of bed. And like I'm in the bathroom. I'll have the cold shower on, but I'm just gonna look at it. And I'm just like, I really don't want to do this. Yeah. But eventually, I know that I've cultivated the voice in my head where like I know, like I'm gonna do, like I do this every day. Like I'm gonna do it regardless of how I feel. I'm gonna do it like no matter what. And eventually, I do get in, and I feel good afterwards. And then like you get that rush of like woo, cold shower, and then you're like, and then you get out and you get out, you feel good. You feel like I just fucking done that.
I hate the feeling when you get out of the cold shower. It's gonna be subject to me. But I get out of the cold shower and I'm like drying myself off and I look down. I go to the cold shower, you're like shrimping the fuck.
Yeah. Every day, bro.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
Sometimes, like if you go out, I think before you go out, you put the hot water in the end. Yeah, bro. I suppose as long as you stay warm, like eventually you'll warm back up.
Yeah, it comes back. It's just sort of in the moment. Isn't
it?
It's
like fuck, man.
I really want. I saw a Joe Rogan get gifted one. There's ice bath. I don't even know if I use it that much because of the sheer watching him in it, and he talks about how I was shivering for like 30 minutes afterwards. Like
it was quite funny the video where he was like nipples hard, and his face was like that was quite a funny video. The what's it called? Those chambers things.
The cryo chambers.
No, not the cryo chambers. It's the sensory deprivation tank.
Oh, fuck.
You know where it's like water and it's like
you just sort of float in darkness.
It's like the same body temperature, the same temperature as your body, so you don't really feel it.
Yeah.
And then you're just in a not a cage, but it's just like a
tank.
Yeah, it's just a
black tank.
You get in there. Like, what if the door doesn't open? Imagine. Like, yeah, sure, you'd have like a pretty sick like meditation session. Yeah. Well, you come out of it and you think, oh damn, that was pretty sick, that. Go to open the door.
Yeah.
Those things, because it's a sensory deprivation tank. There's no sound. There's no light.
You go crazy.
No one's gonna hear you. You're banging on the door. Let me out. Let me out. No one's gonna hear you.
No, it's soundproof.
It's soundproof. Can you imagine?
See, this is the thing. I don't know. Like, people do like an hour session in tank. I don't necessarily know if I could do it. It would be a mental battle, because I know, at least for my like, when I get like a bad thought, it can be it's very difficult for me to not let it envelop everything. I have to struggle greatly being like, no, like fucking you know, at times I've had like cheating dreams where George just cheated on me in a dream and I woke up pissed off at her and I have to like look at myself and I have to be like, this isn't real, because you've seen it. You like, I let it take over. And that's something I really need to work on.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, so if I'm in a tank and all of a sudden I'm like, you like, someone's watching you, or like this, or like that, or like that, and I'm like, where's the door? Like,
the thing that helps with that is meditation.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because meditation teaches you to like control your thoughts
and sort of just let them go. The clearing your mind and shit.
When like speaking to some people, it's like, oh, meditation doesn't really work for me. It will, but it's a skill. It's like, you got to think of it as like, because say like you focus on your breath, you're like, and then you're just breathing. Hey? Yeah. Anyway.
Just edit that out.
Yeah, edit that out. So we'll go to meditation.
Meditation, you're talking about, it's the discipline. Meditation doesn't work for me.
Yeah, so when people say like meditation like doesn't work, and like, oh, you know, I just can't meditate. I just can't sit there and meditate. One, this.
Yeah.
Number two, because this is just gonna like overstimulate you. You're not gonna be able to like silence out all those voices and like all the noise in your head. With meditation, you try to focus on your breath, and then when you feel like, oh, I've started thinking about this, you bring it back to the breath.
Yeah, the breath I like is a very underrated tool, I think.
You got to think about that as reps.
Interesting.
Because instead of getting frustrated, being like, you breathe in, and I start thinking about this, and then, oh, fuck's sake, back to the breathing, and I keep getting those, going back to those random thoughts, and you get frustrated, and then you can't meditate, you don't get into that relaxed state. Because you're getting more and more frustrated about your thoughts. If instead you think, I'm getting the reps in, which is training me to be able to excuse me, I'm training to be able to like dial my focus in, you're gonna progress. You're not gonna quit with it, because you got that mindset change. And fuck, what was I saying? I had a good point there.
Yeah, no, I've done that like 4 times. It's fucking annoying.
Fuck. Meditation.
Talking about reps and how training yourself and how was it going to lead back to discipline?
Yeah. So when you're getting those reps in, those thoughts, when you're like acknowledging that you've had those thoughts, you're gonna get better at eliminating them and not getting as distracted by them, because you got that mindset of, oh, it's a rep. You don't get as hung up on the fact that like, fuck, I failed. Fuck.
I'm working for it.
Yeah.
That's very fucking interesting. I think that will be something that I'll try and implement more into my life.
I've been trying to meditate more, because I haven't meditated in a while. And in the past few days, past like week or so, I've started, and Wim Hof, I've started to kind of bring that back in.
Yeah.
And I have noticed like in my like attention span, like I have started to kind of be able to bring it back down. And another thing as well is, as much as I like music, sometimes just doing like a task with nothing. Like usually on a Sunday, I go for a walk. I'll go for an hour. I'll go for an hour. Don't take my phone. I don't take anything. Just go and walk for an hour. Nothing.
That sounds really difficult to me, in the sense of I'd get bored.
Yeah, you do get bored, but then you start to learn to like listen to your thoughts, and then eventually, I'll either be present, which is a goal. You want to learn to just be present. You want to be in a social flow. You want to be in a flow in a lot of the time. Or I've got like all these ideas flowing. Like it's not like a negative thoughts flowing about and flying about. I'm thinking about podcast, business, school, training. I'm thinking about all these new things, and it's good, and then you let these ideas flow. I think people need to learn and focus on being present and mindful.
Yeah, I try to be present when I can, like, because especially with like, because I've noticed I miss the past sometimes. I miss being there, so I'll like look at what I'm seeing, and I'll look at like try and look at all the individual leaves on a tree, and be like, that's cool. Well, I can feel the sun. I can be like, oh wow, that feels really nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Like trying to take stuff like that, and it sort of helps. I just think, like everything in life, when you're doing it, starting out, it seems insurmountable, like as an obstacle.
With that, you've got to like write it down.
Yeah,
write it down.
Comes back to writing
Literally,
down.
write it down.
Start lifting and write shit
like,
down.
In my book, like, I've just got notes. Just write shit down. In here as well.
Yeah.
And with like being present, with like anxiety and depression, the thing with anxiety is like you're like thinking an anxious thought about this person is like I'm talking to you here. We're in a restaurant. I'm thinking, oh, this person's looking at me funny.
Yeah.
Like he's thinking shit about me. He's talking shit about me. That's anxiety, right? If I'm present, I'm just involved in the conversation with you. I'm not thinking about who's there. I'm not thinking about who's over there. I'm just present. I'm relaxed. I'm just in the moment. I'm living. I'm not having anxious thoughts. I'm in a social flow. I'm in a flow state.
Yeah.
Things with meditation and being present, that will really help anxiety, and that's not taught. That's like not discussed.
No, which is unfortunate. But there's like so much shit that school doesn't teach us. Like I don't know how to do my taxes. Like that's a big one because it's such a everybody needs to do it at some point. But we just got to figure it out on our own apparently.
Shakespeare, bro. Read some Shakespeare and read some Romeo and Juliet and then eventually you're fucking like when the tax man's knocking on your door, you're like 10 grand. Then you'll learn how to do your taxes because you fucking need to learn to do your taxes, otherwise you're gonna be homeless.
Crazy that they know exactly. Like I think it's more an American thing. I don't know because I don't do my fucking taxes.
Whoa. Hang on, man.
They know exactly how much you owe, but they won't tell you.
Yeah, just tell me, bro.
It'd be so much easier if you just tell me.
Yeah. That's it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Everything, almost 99% of shit in America is fucked up. The presidency, the healthcare system, like the school system, gun law system, like easier to buy like an AR-15 than it is liquor, as they call it. Like it's.
You have to be 21, don't you?
Yep. But they'll sell guns to teenagers. You go to Walmart, buy a gun.
Can you actually buy a gun in Walmart?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Oh yeah, but they Walmart. You know how we have Asda.
Yeah,
that's like theirs, but bigger.
Yeah.
And you like guns.
Guns. Fuck.
And like, Louis, what do you want to do today? Do you want to go buy a gun? Yeah, go on.
Go ahead, la.
Yeah, let's fucking like.
Fuck. Damn.
That's why they've got such a bad gun law like situation because kids are getting guns and shooting other kids.
I always see like online like when there's like debates of like British people against American people, like, oh, you guys have school shootings, and then the Americans like, oh, yeah, but you got like loads of knife crime.
Yeah.
I suppose maybe if it's the American versus the British culture. But obviously, if you had those restrictions on the guns, maybe the Americans would then like gangs would result in knives.
Yeah, definitely.
Surely, because we've got those restrictions on guns, so no one's walking around with a fucking like Glock in the pocket, are they?
No,
got a machete instead.
Which is
really messed up.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
It's sort of when you have people who run in gangs. Those are sort of people that have decided they want to do this. Whether it's because of that's who they
maybe they haven't decided. Maybe they are forced into it.
Well, yeah, that you get a lot of that shit. It's about who you sort of hang out with, isn't it? Because if you hang out with people with fragile masculinity, then it's like you're gonna then develop fragile masculinity, where you all have to prove yourselves against each other, like there's a competition. I
think as well, especially like maybe in gang areas. Obviously, I've lived in dodgy areas, but like I've never been in like the hood.
The ghetto.
Yeah, like a lot of them, cause you're gonna think, and you're told like from when you're born, like the government, the establishment, it kind of is, but it's against you. Like it is actively trying to put you down. So you kind of feel like when you've got a gang who's like, oh,
fuck this.
Come on, bro. You feel like that's your only option because maybe they're not very good in school. Maybe they've stopped going to school. maybe the parents are not fucking nice to them. Then like maybe that, and the only, it's not positive, but the only like social like validation you're getting is in that gang. Then you're gonna be more drawn into that gang, aren't you? Because you're gonna be naturally drawn and where something where it's positive. The comeback to that is you got to give them another source of positives, another like positive source.
Start lifting. Like that's literally
like any form of like sport or like again a productive like project or like activity. Like a lot of boxing, like a lot of people say like boxing got me off the streets. Like if I wasn't boxing, then like I'd be probably in prison or dead right now.
Oh, you're both. That's why I love sort of martial arts and combat sports, because it genuinely does change people's lives for the better.
And the thing is, what's kind of weird is the more like shit someone goes through, the more adversity they go through. Usually, especially when it's the more they go through, the more like unstable it is, but they'll do better. Like if they get out of it, like someone like Floyd Mayweather, right? He his dad was like selling drugs to his mom. His dad was in prison all the time. His dad held him as a baby, held him as a human shield when someone pulled a gun out on him. He was like, his family was like, poor, like barely afford anything. And he's like the richest athlete of the 2010s. Yeah. The thing is though, that's like a 1 in a million.
The graph sort of goes like that.
The amount of people that who would have been in that same position, even if they had boxing, like Floyd Mayweather did, they wouldn't have made it out. They would have gotten drawn back into that. They might have crumbled under it. But you will still save more people if you give them that positive role model and output. Because you're gonna have a lot of like negative emotions and like energy. Like they're gonna need to get that out in sparring on a heavy bag instead of going out and fucking shooting someone.
That's why I love Street Beef so much, because their tagline is "Glove up or shut up." It's like I was reading the bio one today. They got like West Coast. They got them everywhere. And it's like they've reduced gun crime.
Really, that's really good.
Because they've got beef matches.
That's brilliant.
If we're fucking beefing, instead of being like, "Bam, I'll be like, go on then, mate."
Yeah, let's go this YouTube video on like Street Beef. Fight.
Instead, it works because no matter what. In a large collection of people, you're going to have negativity. You're going to have people who decide, for whatever reason, like alpha complexes and all of that shit, I need to prove myself against you. And so, pulling a trigger obviously does not make you a man.
No,
not at all.
Not at all.
But if you can have like that outlet.
John Peterson says, like, men, we're going to be aggressive. We're full of testosterone. We're going to be aggressive. But that's kind of shunned upon today. But it shouldn't be. You should be aggressive. But it should be in a controlled way.
Yeah, I saw that about like taming the monster within, and then which is it's interesting.
You should be able to, like on the outside, you should be calm. Like you should be stoic. Like people,
stoicism.
Shit shouldn't like someone like bumps into me and then I'm gonna swing at them. Like I'm gonna start attacking them. Like you should be calm, but then when you need to be, like when you're in danger, then you're gonna be aggressive.
Yeah, it's always picking fight instead of flight.
Yeah. Like if you're always picking a fight, like you're probably a bit insecure. Like if you're always like, 100%. If someone like says like calls you a twat, like go on, let's fucking have it then. Yeah. It's like really, you need to fucking like prove that you're a fucking hard man. It's like, no one laughs, no one cares.
Or if you can't spar and you decide to only fight, then it's also like. I think that is a sign of fragile masculinity. Yeah. It's I think the things that are overlooked, like comfort zones, discipline, and who you're hanging out with. Because I think I'm lucky in the sense of I feel like you're a doer. Like the amount of people that I could have been like, oh, we should start a podcast, and then they'd be like, yeah, that'd be cool.
And not actually.
And then nothing. Yeah. Where it's like, fucking here we are.
Yeah, like, we got the full set. We got mics in.
Even if we've got 17 subscribers, we've done something to get 17.
We're 17 years old. Yeah, who else is 17 years old? I'm like, we're kind of sucking on our own dicks here. Like, who else is 17 years old and like done this, bro? Like, even the thing is, even if this was shit, even if it didn't go off at all. There's like 0.1% chance that this was shit. We still done it.
Yeah, it's
the skills we've learned.
Look at on my CV. Yeah, I own a podcast. Yeah, you know what I mean,
like like say if it's failed, like a business, I start a business, it fails. All right, next one.
Yeah.
Like, we have done more than 90% of everyone else. Everyone else, they're gonna think, oh yeah, it'd be pretty good, but they're gonna like pussyfoot about on the little details, and they want to get everything right. Like our first few episodes are gonna be shit.
Yeah, I feel like you learn on the job, don't you?
Yeah, when you're learning, then you're gonna get better you're only gonna get better when you're doing it.
Yeah.
If you just wait until you want to get it perfect, you're never gonna get it done. Like if you look at most people like first YouTube videos, it's probably gonna be like a phone and like
fucking hell,
like shit quality, like hi guys. And then now they build it up. Obviously, we've already got the setup.
Yeah, the perfect setup.
Like you just gotta start. Or know what you're gonna do. Get your ideas out. Take an idea shit. Sort out your ideas. Focus on one. And work on it and start doing it. Like, don't care what other people fucking think. Just do it. Just fucking do it.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably like the tagline.
Like if my clothing brand, if that fails, right, next one. What's another business idea?
Yeah, you've done something.
Like, I've actually done something. I've still learned skills that it takes to run that. I've learned like social media. I've learned like editing video, like photo shoots and like speaking to like clients and like actual like organized like manufacturers and shit. Like I've learned way more than someone who was trying to plan it out perfectly and not done anything.
Yeah, I'd always rather fail than not try.
Yeah, absolutely. That's when you really learn.
Yeah.
Failure is the only way you're really gonna learn.
Which is fucked up that the best way to learn is to just go through shit. Like, why can't it be handed to us on a plate, you know?
Because then it wouldn't be special.
I suppose, yeah.
It wouldn't be special if everything was fucking handed to us.
Be nice though.
Yeah, it would be nice, but then it wouldn't feel good. If you think about it, if everything was handed to you, like, oh yeah, I just want a Lamborghini, and you just get it, it's like,
yeah,
Lamborghini in it. But if I had worked, if I'm like, I was at the point where I couldn't afford a house, and I've got a mansion and I've got a Lamborghini, that's gonna feel fucking insane. Because the amount of pride and like happiness and like satisfaction you're gonna have that you were able to pull yourself up out of that shit, and you've got all this now.
Yeah,
you're gonna feel great. But if you were just born into it, and you just had it, it's like, no, it's just a car, isn't it?
Yeah. I suppose that's a big thing with like rich kids, isn't it?
Like a lot of them like blow their money because they've never because they just had it. They never understood the concept of like saving money. Joe gone. True. They haven't understood the concept of like looking after money and how to like properly invest it and all that. So they just squander it.
Yeah.
There's a saying like, I'm gonna make my money. My kids are gonna be well off. My grandkids are gonna be well off, but my grandkids' kids are gonna be poor, because that knowledge of how to manage the money has been lost for the generation because it's a commodity. It's just something. It's just I've got it.
Yeah. What is it? Weak men create. Like hard times create strong men create
good times create strong.
We're
we're in that weak men time. The thing is, the thing about that is we've got an opportunity now to prevent that because of the internet. As bad as even the internet's accelerating it, we can maybe it's gone too far, I don't know, but like we can still like spread the message of like self-improvement and like making people better, because there's a lot of like incels and stuff, isn't there? Like you imagine like people actually pay for OnlyFans.
Oh right, see this is an interesting thing because there's obviously like people paying for OnlyFans, but
like Twitch don't like
oh no yeah
like female like
that's fucked up,
like female Twitch streamers and then like donating their monthly wage,
yeah,
like, and then they say their name. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I think the argument with buying OnlyFans is also ethical porn. Because do you remember when Pornhub purged their site of like 75 million videos because they weren't from verified like people?
Oh, okay.
Because people are being trafficked into it, people are being like they don't know what's happening, all that sort of shit. It's like with OnlyFans, you know that person has decided to make it, chooses to continue to produce content, and it's also you are like I don't have OnlyFans, like I don't watch porn, but it's if I was. I probably wouldn't because, you know, it's easy. I can just go on Pornhub, but I'd probably feel better knowing that the person who's doing this 100% wants to do this. that's the sort of moral dilemma with OnlyFans.
I think. I don't want to say you don't give a shit, but like when you're porn, like when you're watching porn, like you don't really care about. You're like getting that stimulation. You're just having a wank, aren't you?
That's right.
Like when you're having a wank, you're not thinking, oh, I really hope this person is being, ethically
Well, I mean,
working ethically and
to an extent,
not being exploited.
like, if you're
not thinking that, you're thinking, oh, tits.
To an extent, yeah. You're not like, if you saw a video and it was like, wow, this girl does not want to be into it. You're not going to be like, oh well, carry on. Like you change video.
Exactly.
But I think that's interesting. I think that's a male versus female difference as well. Because I think I've had this conversation. In my experience, the females take it more like they sort of think about it more with themselves in the situation with whoever they want to be. It's a more intimate thing. Whereas for guys, it is literally just like you say, tits and going on, which does make. There's a difference in how guys and girls think, which is like
females are much more like emotional and like they're more caring. Men are more like logical and like
sort of colder in a sense.
Not cold, but I know what you're trying to say.
It's interesting because like sometimes I struggle being like why is that upset you? Because it wouldn't upset me, which means in my head, well, no one else should be upset by it, which is obviously selfish and. But it is something.
Yeah, it's something I think both people have got to learn.
Yeah.
Like especially in a relationship, it's something like one communication, and you just got to learn. Like you've got to be open-minded to the fact that this might, even though it might not offend you, this might offend someone. And it can be difficult, especially removing your ego from the fact that.
Oh fuck, your ego is a big thing, isn't it?
Like, oh, it's not hurting me. Why are you hurting you? Fucking shut up. Like you've got to reduce yourself and open your mind to the fact that could possibly potentially insult someone.
Yeah, which is definitely I think that's something that's in my thing to work on. I think men should work on that, and women should work on trying to think more logically about solutions. There's the solutions versus comfort, because a lot of time people are just looking to be comforted, and then when you provide solutions, they're like, no, I don't want this. And so it's like, but then you're like, well, why? I'm helping you.
Yeah.
So it's like solutions versus comfort.
I think everyone needs to be more open-minded. That's something that's not taught as well. Open-mindedness.
Yeah, I feel like everyone gets taught one way, and then it can be very difficult.
Everyone likes to be open-minded. I'm open-minded until someone disagrees with my opinion.
True.
Because my opinion is fact.
True.
Like what? Like shut up, bro.
And we've definitely both had that. Like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
100%. Being open-minded. Sometimes. So I'm gonna link this back to the discipline here. But being open-minded to the fact that you can do something. A lot of people say, "Oh, I can't do this," so they've already closed their mind to the fact that they can't do something. And then if you opened your mind to the fact that you can do something, then it's like, "Oh shit, what else can I do?"
Yeah. What else? The what if?
The what if?
What if I do this?
What if? Yeah. Instead of saying I can't, say what if I do it?
Yeah.
And when you do it, it's like it's hard to describe unless you've actually gone through it yourself. It's like your mind's like you can feel like opening up, like this whole new opportunity. There's so many new opportunities and things you can do that are now possible that you didn't think were possible, and that's you've got to get out of your comfort zone to experience, to realize that. We can talk about this all day we want, all however long we want on this podcast. We can talk about it all the time, but unless we actually go out and walk the walk, and if we actually push ourselves outside the comfort zone and actually putting what we're saying into practice, then we ourselves are going to find that out.
Do you think we have, now that we've officially done something where we're telling people that this is what you have to do and all that sort of shit, do you think we now have a responsibility to do it ourselves more than before?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So it's like with a lot of fitness gurus and motivational speakers, from you need to get off the couch, you need to go and run at 5 a.m, you need to go and eat 1 calorie a day if you want to lose weight. Are they actually doing that themselves? No. What when the camera's off, what are they doing?
Yeah, the behind closed doors is a big.
That's what I like about David Goggins, because he's legit.
Oh yeah, you
see him and it's he runs 200-mile races man fucking puts himself through serious pain, and he proves what he's saying is true, and through that truth, people are gonna go and test out for themselves. Even though they're not going to go and run, they might not go and run 200 miles.
200 miles.
But that challenge for him might be the same level of challenge that it is for some fat guy to go for a walk.
True. Yeah, the perspective of it, like how what's like the ratio of difficulty.
Yeah.
Because he is just a tank.
Yeah. And so, but then that's good because that truth that he's actually putting in the work, and you can actually legitimately see that person's putting in the work, then that's going to inspire you, and you're going to think, maybe I can do that. Especially when you see where he came from. He came from the absolute bottom. Like he was like abused and he was like badly like belted and like horrible shit. And then he got to a point where he was like obese, and then he lost like I think it was 100 pounds in like 3 months. 100 pounds because he went to go to like Navy SEAL training and he had to reach a certain weight for his like height category, and he was like 100 pounds over. So the guy was like, all right, you got 3 months, and he made it.
Do you think that was do you think if he hadn't have made the weight, he wouldn't be where he is now?
No.
Interesting.
No, because he was I was getting to Navy SEAL training, and if again, like I said before, like everything that you've gone through has got you to this point where you are today.
The building blocks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man. What time is it?
Yeah, fucking hell. It feels like we've been
7:30.
What time did we start?
I have no idea. Do you want to leave it at that?
Yeah, sure.
I felt that was a good first episode.
Yeah, that was decent.
Thank you for watching this episode, guys.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next Saturday.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Biased, Uneducated and Prejudiced podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like the video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and follow us on all the socials and let us know what you think down below.
Link in the description.
Thanks, guys.